Hello, and welcome, everybody, to yet another episode of Offhand Tips with me, Offhand Disney. I'm so glad you could join me for this week's video, where today we are going to be discussing one of the most important things you need to know how to do when visiting a Disney park, and that's getting through the gate. Making a park reservation is how you get through that gate, and it's very, very important if you want to visit the parks on certain days. So why don't we go over to the desk and I'll show you all how I do it. Wow, the desk. I love being at the desk so I can show you, my friends, tips and tricks on how to make the most of your Disney vacation. Now for this step, you can either use a smartphone or an internet web browser. In this case, I'll be using my web browser. I'm going to head over to waltdisneyworld.disney.go.com/plan and enter my login credentials, username, and password, and then click Make Theme Park Reservations. Now that's the easy part out of the way. Now we're going to have to find the calendar. Now, once you click Make or Modify Theme Park Reservations, you may find yourself in a redirect loop like me. That's okay. It turns out we're just going to use our smartphone after all. So what you're going to want to do is go into the My Disney Experience app or the Walt Disney World app and click Make or Manage Theme Park Reservations. After this step, as long as your selected Magic Key or Annual Pass or Park Ticket isn't blocked out on that day and the park is available to visit, go ahead and select the park you want to visit during your stay. You can either visit the Magic Kingdom Park, maybe Hollywood Studios Park. No, wait, that's Disney's Hollywood Studios. Okay, or you could visit Disney's Animal Kingdom, or no, that's Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. Okay, or I guess you could visit my favorite park at the Walt Disney World Resort, Epcot theme park. Nope, that one's just Epcot. That doesn't make any sense to me. Hold on. Let's check Disneyland real quick. Okay, yep, that's Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure Park. What are these names? These are like the full legal birth names of these parks. It makes no sense. All right. We're changing this video. We're doing something completely different. No more tips! Offhand Tips is dead, okay? Today we are talking about the weird names of the Disney parks that don't match each other at all. Who decided on these legal names? You have Disneyland Park, you have the Magic Kingdom Park. Perfectly fine, that makes sense. Problem, though, the logo doesn't say Magic Kingdom Park like Disneyland's does. It just says Magic Kingdom. Figure that one out, Disney. Then you have Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. But then you have Disney's Hollywood Studios. They dropped the theme park from the end of that one for some reason. And then it's just Epcot. It's just Epcot. There's nothing before or after. It's not Disney's Epcot. It's not Disney's Epcot theme park. It's just Epcot. Today I'm making it my mission to get to the bottom of this. Why are all of these parks different? Why do they have park in the name sometimes theme park, and sometimes they just throw a random Disney's in there? And in the case of California Adventure, it's Disney. It's not Disney's, it's just Disney. And I suppose it's easiest to just start with the one that makes the most sense, Disneyland Park, because this one makes the most sense in my brain. You have the Disneyland Resort, and then within the Disneyland Resort, you have Disneyland Park. It's just to easier differentiate Disneyland Park from Disneyland Resort. You can't just call them both Disneyland. I mean, you can. And I do, and a lot of people do, but it makes it more confusing for people who haven't been. That's fine. And so now I'm assuming it's just to match Disneyland over in Anaheim that the Magic Kingdom is officially known as Magic Kingdom Park. Here's the problem. What other Magic Kingdom is there? I mean, Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom is a nickname for Disneyland Park, but the Magic Kingdom is the only Magic Kingdom in the world. Let's, for the sake of argument, say that it's the same reason they call Disneyland Disneyland Park. You got the Disneyland Resort, you got Disneyland Park within it. You have the Walt Disney World Resort, you have... There's no park called Walt Disney World. It's just the Magic Kingdom. That one makes no sense to me. Just call it the Magic Kingdom or Disney's Magic Kingdom. It doesn't make sense to just have Magic Kingdom Park in there. There's no other Magic Kingdom. Now we're going to return to Epcot in just a moment. So go ahead and take Epcot right here in your hand. Put it in your back pocket for now, because we're not going to be talking about Epcot just yet. It's its own completely different thing. We're going to move on to the
4th.
Domestic Disney park that opened, Disney's MGM Studios, now known as Disney's Hollywood Studios. And that's the official name. You can see it right here on the app. Disney's Hollywood Studios. Not Disney's Hollywood Studios Park, not Hollywood Studios Park, not Disney's Hollywood Studios Theme Park. Just Disney's Hollywood Studios. And it's kind of interesting to me because it matches up in a weird way with Disney California Adventure over in Anaheim. They have the same sort of naming scheme. It's a bit different though.
Oh, I hate you so much.
For those of you who've been around a while, you know that when the park opened in 1989, it wasn't Disney's Hollywood Studios. It was Disney MGM Studios and then Theme Park, which I suppose makes more sense because at Walt Disney World at the time, they'd be doing different things. All of the parks, Magic Kingdom Park would just be Magic Kingdom, Epcot would be Epcot Center, and MGM Studios would be MGM Studios Theme Park, which I gotta clarify is fine by me. Either everybody do something different or everybody do the same thing. Don't do this weird mix of the two you're doing right now. But it was called Disney MGM Studios because it was a partnership between Disney and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer MGM. And then once MGM dropped the partnership, of course, Disney had to rename the park. So it could just be Disney Studios, but that doesn't really have a nice ring to it. So instead, they dropped the MGM, they replaced it with Hollywood because that was the theme of the park. They wanted you to feel like you were stepping into Hollywood, the old-fashioned Hollywood that never existed. And then, of course, they added an apostrophe S to the end of Disney to let you know who's running the joint, who's in charge, whose land you're on, and it became Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I've seen speculation on why they dropped the theme park from the end of the official name, people saying that it was a functioning movie studio, but by the time they changed names in 2008, Disney was already sort of starting to phase out the movie studio aspects of the park, although some did remain until the mid-2010s like the American Idol experience and of course the Backlot Tour, but I don't think they dropped theme park from the name because they intended on going full throttle with the movie studio idea, you know what I mean? Which brings us to Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. Now this one I think is the most easily explainable because when Animal Kingdom was opening, a lot of people, a lot of critics and theme park fans didn't quite know what Disney was going for. Was it going to be a theme park like Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom, or was it going to be a zoo? We weren't quite sure what was going to happen, but Disney was very clear in saying that it was absolutely going to be sort of both. But Animal Kingdom really stretches the definition of a zoo. It's much more than a zoo, which makes it much more than a theme park. So in order to tell people exactly what it is, you got rides, you got food, you have shows, attractions, and you have the safaris, the animals. But at its core, this is still a theme park. It is, you could say, not a zoo. And so the official name for Animal Kingdom became Disney's Animal Kingdom Theme Park, and that makes sense. It's a little bit long, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as I would want it to, but I get why they named it that. It makes sense. Now, when we arrive to Disney's California Adventure, now known as Disney California Adventure, the renaming took place around the time when Bob Iger came into power and was trying to reshape California Adventure into something more worthy of being across the Esplanade from the original Disneyland. It still hasn't quite reached that point for me personally, although I know a lot of people who absolutely love DCA. And I do too. I really do love DCA, but I mean, Disneyland's right there. Come on. And so, with the still very much ongoing transformation of California Adventure, a name change was needed. Instead of Disney's California Adventure, the name is now Disney California Adventure. Does that make sense at all? The emphasis used to be on California. They wanted you to experience all the different sights and places and activities from California, the state of California, in this one theme park, Disney's California Adventure. But when Disney realized that most of the people visiting the parks were locals who already lived in or near California, why in the world would they want to go to a California-themed theme park? They can go to San Francisco, the real thing. It's there. Long Beach, Hollywood, it all exists, and it's all, I guess, relatively speaking, sometimes close. That traffic, that California traffic, am I right, folks? So instead of stepping into the world of California, you would step into the world of Disney. So now, instead of being a California adventure hosted by Disney, it is a Disney adventure that happens to be in the state of California. Hopefully that clears things up. I don't blame you if you're completely lost right now. Basically, with the name change, Disney was looking to de-emphasize the California aspect of California Adventure and re-emphasize the Disney Adventure portion of the name. Put very simply. And now, for the weirdest one. Epcot is unique. There is not another Epcot-style park anywhere in the world. It's meant to be a permanent World's Fair, and when World's Fairs do pop up, yes, I guess that could be considered an Epcot-style park, but when it comes to theme parks that are there forever, Epcot stands on its own. And it didn't open as Epcot. As many of us know, it opened as Epcot Center. But even before that, Epcot was something completely different with the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Progress City, you can see the model of it on the People Mover at the Magic Kingdom. Epcot is its own beast entirely, and I am so excited to talk about the history of the name now. You see, Walt Disney didn't want to just contribute to the entertainment industry. He didn't want to just make movies. He wanted to contribute to society, and some would argue today that he did. Disney, and the Walt Disney Company as it's known today, has shaped many aspects of entertainment and live entertainment, even theater as we see it today. However, Disney remains first and foremost an entertainment company, whether that be theme parks or movies. Always the futurist, Walt wanted to expand upon the ideas of the Monsanto home of the future and Tomorrowland over at Disneyland. Instead of a house of the future, there would be an entire city of the future located in Florida. It would echo Disneyland in many ways, like with the hub and spoke design where we see today at Disneyland with the hub and the castle in Main Street USA leading out to all the different lands. The city would be very similar. Walt and other people around him began referring to this project as Epcot, Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. Now, something important to keep in mind that often gets confused, Epcot was not the name of the city. That was sort of the working name for the entire Florida project. A project that wasn't just a city, it was also an airport, a resort, a Disneyland-style theme park. And all of these things would feed off of each other and intermingle in order to create this experimental prototype community. And a model of the futuristic city itself would be referred to as Progress City, which again may not be the name of the city of the future. It's just what the model was called. However, the city would still be referred to in its early working stages as Epcot when the Florida project became Disney World. But I'm getting sidetracked now because this isn't a history of Epcot video. This is a video where I complain about the names of the parks. So instead of being a completely brand new community of the future, Epcot became Epcot Center, a theme park that was meant to be a permanent World's Fair. Epcot would become Walt Disney World, but Walt Disney World would become home to Epcot Center in 1982. Epcot Center to differentiate the theme park from the original idea for this experimental prototype community. People wouldn't be living at Epcot Center, it was a theme park. But a lot of the creative ideals from the community of tomorrow and Tomorrowland would make their way into Future World at Epcot Center. But then you would run into the problem of people thinking that Epcot Center wasn't a theme park, the very thing they were trying to avoid. You had Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom. These both sound like magical places where you can step away from reality and enter the worlds of your favorite Disney movies in different environments. Epcot Center sounds like a business center, and to some extent looked like a business center. And even though they changed the name from Epcot Center to just Epcot in 1993, it still hasn't dropped that moniker, even quite to this day. Even me, Offhand Disney, as a child growing up, I did not want to go to Epcot because I thought Epcot was where all the grown-ups went to talk about math and science and boring stuff. But that child was dumb, okay, because he could have gone on Horizons and Maelstrom. Alright? That dumb kid didn't know what he was talking about. But it's also important to note that the name of the park, while being, yes, Epcot now, was lowercase Epcot. You had the capital E and then Epcot. It was a word. It wasn't the full capital Epcot that we have now. And I think the funniest part about the whole legacy of the name of Epcot is that we've come full circle now. Originally, it was called Epcot Center to distance it from the all capitals Epcot that Walt Disney was planning as a community of tomorrow. But now everybody knows that Epcot's a theme park, so they changed the name back to Walt's original name, all capitals Epcot, and that's the way it is now. And honestly, I like this name the best. All capitals Epcot makes the most sense to me. Out of all of the park names, you could call it the Magic Kingdom, you can call it Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, but Epcot will always be Epcot. And when people refer to these parks just in conversation casually, they don't say Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park, they don't say Disney's Hollywood Studios, they say Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom. They say Epcot. They don't say Disney California Adventure or Disney's California Adventure. They say California Adventure, sometimes DCA, because that's a lot of words to say. And Disneyland Park will always, always be Disneyland. So, it's been about 15 minutes of us exploring and documenting and ranting about the official names for all of the American Disney parks. Now, the international parks, those are way easier. You just take whatever country or city the park is in and just add Disneyland onto the beginning or end of it. You have Hong Kong Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, and then Disneyland Paris. You're a bit weird, you know, Disneyland comes first, but that's fine. Disneyland Paris is great. But then everything gets even more confusing when you realize that every castle-style park that's not the Magic Kingdom is technically called Disneyland Park. So we're just talking about the American parks in this video because I know most about those. My request to Disney is this. Disney, if you're going to have a naming scheme for your theme parks, it should at least be consistent. You can put Disney's in front of the name. You can put Disney in front of the name. You could put theme park at the end or just park, but do it to all of them, not just one, all of them. My personal favorite is just letting the parks be the parks. Have Epcot, have the Magic Kingdom, have Disneyland, have California Adventure. Get rid of all the extra stuff around the edges. You don't need it. People know. I say that, but you know, people genuinely might not know that Animal Kingdom is a theme park. So maybe just keep Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park, and then the rest of them can go by their shorter names. But what about you, dear viewer? What do you call the domestic Disney parks? Do you call it DCA, DAK, or DAC for Animal Kingdom? Do you still call it MGM Studios? I'm really interested to hear what you personally refer to the parks as down in the comments below. But at the end of the day, it's not about what we, the guests, refer to the parks as. It's not even what the cast members refer to the parks as. That doesn't matter. What's most important at the end of the day when everything is said and done is what Disney Legal refers to the parks as. That's the only opinion that matters here. What's on the paper? That is the only important name of the parks that counts. And they definitely do not have anything over me right now because I call it Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. That's on the paper. It's what they're telling me to read. So I suppose I'll see you all next week. I did what you told me to do. We're gonna go to Disneyland Park for a new fun video. Maybe we'll even go over to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Just a little bit of consistency would really go. Okay, no, I get it. No, totally fine. Love the names. I love the names. Hello and welcome everybody to the end card for this video. Boy, am I a fan of Disneyland Park, Disney California Adventure Park, Disney's Hollywood Studios, it's just Epcot, Magic Kingdom Park, and Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. They sure are just a lot of fun to visit with my family and purchase all the lightning lanes I can. And merchandise. Merchandise is important too. If you enjoyed this video, I'm pleading with you to hit the like button, and if you're new around here and you want more videos similar to this, hit the subscribe button. A special thank you, as always, to my supporters over at patreon.com/offhanddisney. They get early access to videos and exclusive access to some videos. I got a really special one coming up, filmed live from Disneyland Park. I'm gonna film it in Disneyland Park. So keep an eye out for that, Patreon supporters. And if you want to join their ranks and get early access to the Disneyland Park video, head over to patreon.com/offhanddisney, and even just $1 a month will get you access. However, if you'd rather follow me for free, I'm on Blue Sky, TikTok, and Instagram at offhanddisney. Just makes it easier for you to find me, not for them to find me. As always, my friends, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for staying tuned until the end card. I will see you all at the same place, at the same time, next week. Goodbye.